their conscience with drink, but secretly desperate for redemption. I've let our contact know what we're in the market for, and she's nearby.
You alright?
You lot certainly know how to pick your targets. You do know that Albion have set up their headquarters in there, right?
Yeah. No. I didn't. Well, I did, but I didn't want to think about it. Besides, we've no choice. Nigel Cass is meeting with a bunch of toffs about a new Albion project. You know that's going to be a fucking cock-up for everyone, right?
Fucking Nigel Cass. You're right. Nothing good can come of this. Luckily, I hear loads of sob stories working in our pub. And near this place, quite a few from Albion are dissatisfied with the status quo. You turn on the charm, and I'm sure you can get one to join the good guys. Even got a candidate in mind.
Huh. Interesting. Can you send me their personal info?
I'll have Bagley push it along. Good luck, love.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about revealing ourselves to some Albion bootlicker.
They're jackbooted thugs who regularly murder civilians. If finding a disenchanted employee is really that difficult, humanity's much worse off than I thought. It would also be quite useful to have someone on the...
You alright?
You lot certainly know how to pick your targets. You do know that Albion have set up their headquarters in there.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's all right.
Well, that's got a few bolts loose. Get the fuck out of here!
Piece
Back
of
office
shit
is none of your
machine.
business. Shit for
No.
Think I got it?
Shit, that machine's acting crazy.
your teeth down your throat.
Failure to comply will result in forceful intervention.
City's gone to pot, hasn't it? Interested in maybe changing things for the better?
Wait, you were dead, Zach? I just so happen to need some help.
I mean, can't guarantee anything, but we'll try. What's up?
I was working with some smugglers for Clan Kelly. Not my finest hour. We specialized in the finer things at first. Wine, cheese, and caviar. Lovely work. But now things have escalated. There's an arms deal coming up, and I'm supposed to move the goods.
Go on.
I've had enough. I want out of this racket, but I can't let this deal happen. I want to take out the arms shipment before it's too late. But I need your help.
Right. I'll set things in motion.
Thank you very much. Help me, and I'm confident we can work out a reciprocal arrangement. Use your imagination.
The weapons shipment is being prepared at one of Clan Kelly's hideouts. I'll send you the coordinates.
I got this.
This is an official poll, right from the very heart of government. It's not a knock-off, fake poll of an elderly couple and their mangy old dog sitting on a bench waiting to die. This is an official poll. So let's just put those words, official poll, through an online translator in case you didn't study languages. Let's find out what they actually Made-up lie. There we go. Glad to clear that up. I think it's fair to say, entirely trust these official polls. They feed us, Alice. I mean, they could publish an official poll saying that over 99.9% of children like ice cream, and I would instantly assume that all children now hate all ice cream and would prefer to eat a bucket of gravel mixed with dead badger. They could publish an official poll saying that 10 out of 10 cats prefer cat food.
You're in. Now find the thing.
Time for a bit of distraction.
There's the shipment.
I trust these polls as much as I trust someone
You're lucky I stopped it knocking you out.
That's disconcerting.
Fuck this, you're dead!
We're being attacked!
Look!
Nah, that cunt ain't here! I'm taking some heat over here! Going for a look.
Arthur's right there, so go look.
Finding cover! Come on, you! Give up!
Shoot through
Fuck! I'm right in the open! Taking fire!
Good shot! It will be my pleasure to kill you. I can't get up! Ah!
Reloading!
Did not hurt! Throw grenade! Taking fire!
Weapons destroyed. I'll open a channel to... Time to pick up where your teammate left off. I'm sure they'll thank you once they stop eating through a tube.
That's what they get for being careless. Come on, let's clean up for them. Done.
I can't thank you enough. There are too many guns in London as it is, and most of them are in the wrong hands. It's high time I turned my life around.
I know this could sound crazy and all, but I think you'd fit right in with DedSec. Yeah?
All right. I'm in. Let's have some fun.
You waste, man. What?
Like it's been around forever, but it's really quite a new invention. Were you an early adopter?
I was one of the first that was in this market. There seemed to be a new way of financial transactions, a new way of money. It's something that we could completely reinvent and change some of the legacy financial systems around the world and really give power back to the people.
Yeah, there's a real shift in the way that the world works. Let's recap the basics. So, central to cryptocurrency is the distributed ledger technology, the tech that keeps track of all transactions. And what this means is you can have a decentralized system without having to trust any one party, like old-fashioned banks.
One of the reasons why I got involved so early is that you could stay one of us.
Yeah, the features of cryptocurrency very much fit into that early mindset. It was all about finding an alternative to centralized systems. It was kind of a countercultural punk ethos. The whole point of the distributed ledger is you're not trusting any one person to keep a track of who has what money or how they're spending it. It's all out there in the open for anyone to see, and yet you can remain secretive.
But not everybody now wants to keep up this crypto legacy. They don't share this attitude anymore. We've seen institutions, businesses, even governments experimenting with crypto, which doesn't really fit into its original radical counterculture mold.
Yeah, it's kind of weird today to think of people not using cryptocurrency. It's so mainstream now. You know, I'm almost nostalgic for the feel of cash. Good old-fashioned paper and coins. First they changed the paper notes to plastic notes, and now it's just all digital. There's nothing to hold on to.
It was great just to be able to have a little bit of money to carry around with you.
I think the turning point in the UK really came a few years ago when the pound dropped 10% over just one season. People living off grid started using crypto, and just as everyone was losing faith in the pound, they were gaining it in cryptocurrency, which turned out to be much more stable. Kind of the opposite to what people thought in the beginning.
And then, of course, there was the recession. It didn't take long for startups to see an opportunity in this new way of doing finance. A lot of traditional money was converted to crypto, and it really shook up the financial sector.
Can you remember when they first introduced crypto cash points?
That was really sneaky. It was a classic startup behaviour. They just installed them everywhere. No consultation with the government, no approval or anything. But people immediately started to use them.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of how the Union put out the optics. They just made it...
How do you feel about changing the state of things?
You're saying you're with DedSec? I could use the help.
I mean, can't guarantee anything, but we'll try. What's up?
I got this mate. He got some kind of lung infection, but he can't get no help through National Health. Then a Clan Kelly doctor offered to help, for a high price, of course. But I couldn't say no.
Go on.
Them drugs worked. Oh, they really work too well. Now my mate's addicted to the stuff, and this doctor knows it. He's charging 3 more times than he did the first. We're stuck. We need help.
This doc's an absolute dickhead. Don't sweat it. We'll get your mate the drugs they need.
Well, this quote-unquote doctor is a real winner. He was struck off the medical register for gross malpractice last year, and now he's a freelance mob surgeon. Nice work if you can get it.
All right. I think now's your cue to track him down, Bags.
I am quite literally always tracking everyone down. Pushing you with coordinates now.
Of them. My question for you, Alice, is why only 4,000? Is that really enough? I will not feel safe until at least another 75 million people have been deported. And I'm... Yeah, in Britain, on my own.
As a bleeding heart lefty, Andy, I would normally be outraged about this, but really I think mass deportation is a very handy way to break up with a partner. I'm sorry, baby, I love you, but an anonymous source has reported you for snoring really loudly in a French way.
So, everyone out. No exceptions. Alice, not even you. It's for the good of the country. Everyone out. Unless you can prove that your family are in the background on the Bayeux Tapestry cheering on King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Get out! Actually, that's not British enough. Unless you can show, unarguably, that your direct bloodline is untainted by anything since before the Romans. Unless your direct ancestor was personally responsible for building Stonehenge, get out of my country. I guess when you look at it, you know, the best ways to stop immigration, apart from, obviously, the end of the world, to make the place you want to stop people coming to as unpleasant as possible. So,
well, we absolutely are doing that, Andy.
Well, you know, fair play to the government for helping us with that. Another option, extend the White Cliffs of Dover. They've been resting on their laurels for too long. Very inefficient, it turns out, as a means of stopping immigration. We need to extend them by about another 11,000 miles, a full wrap around Great Britain, and they could do with being about 1.5 kilometres higher as well, with a special greasy coating to stop people clambering over the top or however they get in. Here's a quick joke for you, Alice, about immigration. Did you hear the one about the woman who went into the immigration processing centre and was ever seen again?
No, Andy, I didn't hear that one.
Boom.
The Clan Kelly doctor you're looking for is close by. Seems he's got a laptop with him too, presumably with a folder somewhere on it labelled Crimes.
this a meme? It better not be a meme. I fucking hate memes. I don't think I understand what's going on.
There's the laptop.
Am I done? Do you want to go through all the effort to encrypt all of this shit?
Chill out, man.
Done when it's done.
Let's take this up a notch. Let's blow this cock to bits. Fucking shit.
Certain they went that way.
Laptop scraped. Get to safety while I analyze the data.
I'm checking it out.
I found them on warehouse where experimental drugs are being stored. I'm sure Mary Kelly won't mind if you nick a few.
No one wants to hear that. Or suspects reported near your location. They want to hear how
into the
people
hostiles
were
location.
victims of violence when in fact
Control,
they
we're in
weren't. Or they
pursuit.
were victims
Over.
of insurgent forces when in fact they weren't.
Negative. No sign of the target yet.
It's a battleground. Here's media research and academic output.
The media has, of course, been perhaps the key way in which
Control, put out an APW. Target is gone.
So, totalitarian countries have typically used huge mainstream media outlets to sell one kind of news, one kind of biased news to its population. Of course, the media has always played this kind of key role in methods of state control. I think what's happening now is perhaps even more concerning, where you previously, in pre-crisis Britain, we had perhaps more diverse voices in the media, but now with the GBB, you're really only seeing one brand of news and therefore only getting one truth. So people end up with a very biased and controlled idea of the reality. And actually living in. There was, of course, many concerns and many problems, but in a way there were some positive things that, like, not all information was coming from one place, and so you'd have kind of far-right media outlets developing and then left-wing media outlets developing to combat those and kind of challenge the mainstream newspapers, TV stations, radios, and make sure people were questioning the the validity and truth of the information they were receiving. So whilst the digital afforded more fake information, it also makes us suspicious and sceptical of information and makes us question the information we're getting. And I think in pre-crisis Britain, it might not seem great at the time, but there was something positive about that there was a lot of distrust in the media. And in the different kinds of truth being told, whereas now I think you're seeing a return to a more traditional and older pre-digital sense, actually, of people just trusting what they're told, and that's why we have to be here with radio stations like this to challenge those conceptions. Most citizens feel pretty hopeless, I think, and unable to fight back against these kind of huge mainstream corporations that simply entrench and support the ideals and ideologies of the state. It can seem very hopeless indeed, but I think, you know, the fact that you're...
I'm detecting a vehicle nearby with at least 2 years' worth of treatments inside. That's more than enough to wean our contact's friend off the treatment.
Acknowledged.
There's the vehicle with the drugs in it. Try not to destroy it.
Come on, you fuck! I don't want any trouble. You don't, do you?
I got your
shit
back.
out of luck. You're on Clan Kelly Dwarf now, all right? It's not before. Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. Oh, with that dick. Go.
Are you just going to fucking stand there?
Thought you could hide, did you? Stay down, motherfucker.
This is a highly placed Albion informant, or as they're called in America, a narc. And if there's one thing I know about the people of London, it's that they always like to see a rat get his comeuppance. Good on you.
Thanks.
Time to pick up where your teammate left off. I'm sure they'll thank you once they stop eating through a tube.
Bagley, once they're out, remind me to ask about their leftover painkillers for safe disposal purposes.
Terminating the search.
Albion is permitted to access your data. This includes deep searches of your optic device. Refusal to provide the requested information.
Fuck the rules.
Forget this.
Stay still, don't move. I'll call someone. Shit! Does anyone know first aid? Oh shit, I'm gonna throw up. Still, don't move. I'll call someone.
There's the vehicle with the drugs in it. Try not to destroy it.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, you alright? Stay still, don't move. I'll call someone. Does anyone know first aid?
I have the vehicle. What's next?
I found a safe location where a friend can pick it up. Sending you the coordinates now.
This is what fascism is. It is the complete and total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation. And the only meaning that you will find in your life is to become part of the nation. What is the nation? The nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does. It's just a myth. But that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one. But that isn't that rare. I mean, we saw exactly the same thing in Nazi Germany. Look at the concentration camps that operated in Nazi Germany. There were private companies in those camps making use of that slave labor. Fascism often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic India in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
We're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data, how that's being used and manipulated, and what we haven't looked at is the power structures and the profit that lies behind this. For example, if we examine what actually happened You know, there's a company that's really very interested in selling passports and making it easy to provide visas for investment and so on. And historically, throughout the world, they've been working with this big data manipulation company in order to overthrow governments. And then suddenly all the chickens came home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Could figure out how things were done, but everybody had a feeling that something really stunk and they couldn't figure it out. And yet it was standing there in their face the whole time. There's a couple of different ways that we got where it is that we are. I mean, one, you have a lot of smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well. We're bending things just a little. We'll compromise a little bit. We'll bend the rules a little bit and try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve that's good for us. And if you add all of that up, what you end up with is a big wall moving in a big way from a lot of little buttons being pushed. But also there's this other thing that's going on here is the gathering of data and...
Job done. The drugs are in a truck somewhere in the city. Our AI will send you the location. Give your friend my best.
I owe you one.
In DedSec, the more the merrier. Care to join us?
Just what I was hoping to hear. I'm in.
We have an Albion operative on our roster. We should let them know they're needed.
I'm excited to see what you're capable of. Very excited.
Thanks. I'm ready to bring real justice where it's needed.
Fabulous.
Nigel Cass's meeting will begin soon. Approach the Tower of London when you're ready.
Right, let's do this. Can't find anything.
Predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending, and this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours, and this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you might lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points, and then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, better travel privileges, being able to travel first class, or being denied from travelling first class to not being able to travel at all. These systems are very real and very possible because of the data that has now helped us.
So if there is a burden and you think someone might be watching you, you're probably right. They're watching all of us. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer. Keep listening, keep sharing the show, and keep it encrypted. They're watching us, but we're watching them too.
You're listening to The Bug.
May cause nausea, vomiting and headaches. You're listening to The Bug, the Resistance comedy show brought to you by the Buccaneer Network. I'm Andy, joining me, as always, Alice.
I'm excited to be here. Apparently, the Resistance is not going well.
Again? Well, there has been some news about DedSec, the Resistance and/or terrorist organisation, delete according to preference. Not preference, sorry, delete according to whether or not you work for the government, SIRS, Bloom, the Kellys, or Albion. According to a SIRS official, DedSec is no longer a threat, which I guess is true, because it was only a threat in the first place. Reminds me when my great aunt Gladys had her appendix out. Oh, Andy, that surgeon's a real threat, waggling that knife at me, so that knocked me out.
If we're lucky, word hasn't spread that you've hung up your jackboots. Just try to put on your meek, harmless, broken by the system face. Oh, and don't forget your uniform.
This is fine. Just doing my job.
Looking sharp. Your ex-colleagues won't pay any attention to you unless you let them take a close look. A word of caution now we're inside. Any disturbance in here and Nigel Cass will surely cancel his meeting. Avoid being detected by your former colleagues or this operation is a bust.
Nigel won't have anything important on this floor.
How is it you know more about him than I do?
Yeah, I was Albion too, if you hadn't twigged to that. Me and Cass were close once. Looked up to him. He was bigger than life, fam. Literally a tech genius. And I... was just a gearhead kid. I wanted to be like him. That's why I joined up.
Seriously, for real?
Didn't find out he was a murderous prick until later.
This new project the director's presenting.
Out of them bloody mind. Can't wait to see it roll out. This is going to make our jobs that much easier and safer.
Yeah. You don't think it's going to make certain aspects of our job redundant, do you?
Not a chance. Director Cass takes care of his own. You know that.
Fair point.
The Exmoor pony is Britain's oldest native breed. The breed nearly reached extinction.
Everything is proceeding on schedule, and Mr. Cass is as determined as ever to make the White Tower as safe as possible from terrorist attack. I believe he has ensured that every security measure...
You're making this tougher for you.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Spread out!
This new project the director's presenting is starting to engage.
Can't wait to see it roll out. This is going to make our jobs that much easier and safer.
So can you tell me a bit more about how the
You don't think it's going to make certain
Everything is
aspects
proceeding
of
on
our job
schedule,
redundant,
and
do you?
Mr. Cass is
Not
as
a
determined
chance.
as ever.
Director Cass takes care of his own. You know that.
Fair point.
I believe down close before coming in. Like I haven't got enough to do. Need them in construction.
When it comes down to it, this whole...
Shit!
They're
gone! Call command!
They better not be.
This door clearly requires a security pass.
Wonderful.
Use one of the nearby computers to create your forgery.
Be careful. You don't want to know what Nigel does with trespassers.
I know. Albion and all them other bastards aren't any better with rights and privacy. But you can't claim to want to make the situation better and overthrow these authoritarian tyrannical...
Stand down, mate.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Let's find this one!
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!